ready to go into map 3 right here, right now. T1 versus DRX continues on. Interestingly enough, both of these games, one team gets a pretty substantial lead, and then the other team gets an insane comeback.
Yeah, I mean, 9-3 on Ascent, and then T1 comes back to win it 13-11. 8-4 on Fracture. DRX comes back to win it 13-11, right back. Now we're going to Haven. It is interesting to me that T1 decides to go for the defender's side. I mean, obviously this has happened before. It is just interesting because I feel like maybe the weaknesses that we're finding on DRX on Haven have been a little bit more, you know, on their defender side. But curious to see what T1's game plan is. It looks like, at least for the pistol, heavy focus on that C side, and they will be correct.
Yep, they've got RB to lurk over here by Garage and maybe even peer into B. They farm out the orb at C, and Omen smoke comes down. And we'll see, does that force them to turn around, or are they going to actually try to push their luck?
Nope, here comes the lineups from Zest. He's just looking at the wall to line himself up. The flash as well to plant Buzz in. He's just trying to check behind, but the paranoia is good, and Ban's able to answer right back. Back sight still held, spike dropped.
Yeah, with no spike plant, it's really putting a timer over here onto DRX. We do have Saya coming all the way around from the back. DRX needs to act extremely quickly.
Here's the thing is that if they can't get back sight, I mean, they're not really quite sure what to do. They're trying to get everyone into the site so they have abilities to trade, but no one's watching the back, and Saya gets the spike down once again. RB tries to answer back.
You know, RB may be clutch enough. It doesn't matter where the spike is, but Saya here with this Sheriff at the long range, really able to take some picks. Munchkin, as long as he can control up top, he should be okay.
Smoke comes out, the ping's onto the spike, but Munchkin's actually going to be the one who gets the first kill against Mako, and now it's a 2v1. RB just looking to get the plant down.
And he does manage to get that. Some shots fired in. Saya not going to be able to find that target. He's got to be careful. RB with a ghost can sometimes win these duels, even with very little HP.
Yeah, but now they know that he's back sight, and Munchkin knows exactly where to peek. And that's going to be Munchkin getting the defuse. T1 winning yet another pistol round. I mean, that's 4 on the board now.
Yeah, T1 with a very technical victory there, really delaying progress, and then a very cautious DRX just wasn't appreciating that their behinds were showing. You know, we had that lurk there from Saya, and, you know, it was a pretty easy control game from there.
Yeah, and, man, the set play itself, I mean, whatever it was, I mean, the arrow not quite getting there in the right timing to just ping Ban out. The paranoia from Ban being very, very well timed, and because of that, they're able to hold the back of sight, and that's often the key point when it comes to C sight, is if you hold backside control, the attackers can't get too comfy. Now on this eco, DRX looks like they just want to try to rush this in. They're going to wait until the arrow goes through. Oh, RB gets one kill, but it wasn't the one with the Bulldog on top. Buzz answers right back, though.
Yeah, DRX now able to get pretty easily onto the site. It's going to have to be coverage from 3 different points here. Garage back and top from T1. Saya with that Marshall.
Yeah, I mean, DRX, I'm curious, do they push out? Otherwise, they didn't have too much space. Now Zest is going to watch behind him. Nice paranoia, though, and just a follow-through. Oh,
hold on. Carpe's still in this, but Zest gets the last word on that duel, and DRX is now even this out.
With a thrifty. I mean, right off of the Marshall, right? They get the early peak. RB gets 1 kill, and then Buzz was able to trade right back onto the Bulldog as well. And what a way to turn the tide.
Yeah, you can see they were ready with that Marshall. Kind of a weird ebb and flow of that final fight, but they clutch it.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes off of the fact that RB wins that first duel, right? Because otherwise the trade would have gone in favor of T1. But after that, we heard it in the comms as well. Buzz calls, I got one backside as well, so they assume that the site should be safe. And now they lead with the weapon advantage. Saya continuing with another Marshall. Just seeing whatever damage he can do. Now all this noise lets T1 know that this is going to be an A-site hit for the time being.
They did have a quad stack over at C, but they're going to go ahead and send 2 to wrap around over towards A, but we don't know if DRX is going to commit just yet.
Yeah, DRX holding, however, their position mostly holding against any advances. Considering, I mean, if Buzz, or rather RB, had pushed out into Garage right around the 1 minute mark, maybe they would have left some leeway, but it does look like it's going to be an A-site hit. Now, look at T1's positioning. They are ready to flood right back into the site. They're trying to avoid the initial utility coming out from DRX. And then they're going to flood right back in, and Saya gets the opening kill against Buzz as well.
A couple more shots fired in there. They haven't really been able to quite take A just yet. Carpe here with a pretty decent lurk. Saya with a no-scope.
Wow, the drop and no-scope for one. I mean, a decent amount of damage. Look at 2 members already scratched up. Now, Stacks, he already had Rolling Thunder, but he's still just going to go for the plant as no one else was right next to him to trade that off. They don't want to make any mistakes trying to toss over the ult point, it looks like. And everyone just covering their angles.
Yep. Pretty standard victory there for DRX. But I got to say, man, Saya, with these marshals, sometimes it's crazy how scary he is.
Yeah, I mean, he's always going to make something happen. If he's got a scope in his hands, whether it's the marshal or the operator.
Yeah, you just see that.
Yeah,
point blank.
Just the drop right on and then gets that kill. All right, so some damage done. However, we got to remember, DRX got that thrifty on round 2, so it's not going to hurt them too much. They're happy to just continue sticking with a couple half armor buys. And then the Rolling Thunder online for them as well. RB 1 point away from the lockdown. With the Rolling Thunder, it looks like they want to focus on the A site once again. Oh my gosh, Saya.
Yeah, Saya's pushed pretty far out here. This is quite risky.
Yeah, because of the gunshots, he expected someone to be on that left side. He's just waiting until the very last second for his tailwind. Oh, but he gets picked off before he can dash out.
A grave mistake there by Saya. The overextension is punished.
Well, now backup has to arrive a bit quicker for T1. Carpe is here, but only 2 people. I don't know if flooding the site is the right answer. You already have Munchkin, who's pushed out into mid. Of course, there is an alarm bot, but either way, yeah, T1's just going to back up. They're waiting for the flank to happen. They're waiting for the Rolling Thunder to come out as well. No one disrupted. Oh, it does look like Zeta actually gets knocked up in the air just a tad bit.
Oh, yeah, just seeing the shoulder there. Carpe is enough for Buzz to get that kill. Shorty in hand.
Munchkin, he tried to go for the flank, but of course the alarm bot was there, so he just backs right out, and T1 is going to have to save. They do not want to take any more economic damage as they're already down, 1 round.
So this is going to be a 3rd win here for DRX. Nice amount of momentum here on their side. Again, I would not be shocked if this is another 11-13 or even an overtime here with how back and forth these 2 teams have been.
Yeah, and I think the biggest part about that, as we always say, is the fact that both teams just have really good mental fortitude. I mean, that's what creates these games where you have this back and forth. You're able to kind of calm down, zone back in, and say, okay, this is what we need to adjust. Then you push back, a little bit of tug of war happens. Right, now the question is this is very different from a best of 3, right? A best of 5 is by nature just much longer. And curious to see who's going to be able to really survive that. I love those drawings, by the way. The little cipher and the omen.
You make a good point, William. I mean, the stamina
the drawings are good?
I was talking about it a little bit earlier than that. The drawings are also good, though. Everything you're saying is so on point. Look, stamina is essential. I mean, a best of 5 is really exhausting. 5 intense games of Valorant back-to-back is a lot, especially when everything is on the line.
Oh, and Saya, he overextends just a bit again, and this time Zeta also caught a miss to Chaos. And DRX, they are just always gunning for a main control. Munchkin this time quick on the flank.
He's going to keep pushing forward here. The Aldrone's going to spot him.
Yeah, he's going to have to back off for now. Now, Ban is already on site, but this is... Everyone's up to their own devices for the remaining 2 members of T1.
If T1 destabilizes on either side, DRX is free to do exactly what they want. Ban got to come out here with the blind. Can't find a target, though.
He's just trying to buy more time for Munchkin to be able to set up, maybe even scare DRX, but Ban actually a clean shot. He's trying to get out. He's not quite in the smoke. Okay, finally he crawls right back in. 2v2.
Meanwhile, Munchkin going to creep up through A long.
Does DRX remember this? They have to remember. Zest, you have to remember that Munchkin was on your flank, and he goes for the swing and gets the headshot onto Munchkin.
This leaves just Ban, the only one left. Mako teleporting over to the side.
Ban just going for the fake. Makes some noise. Now trying to hold to the half. The shock dart's good. He's actually just going to hold all the way, but Mako says, not under my watch.
Yep, a good setup there. Some decent ideas from Ban, but with that amount of time left there on that spike, there's not a whole lot you can do. DRX 4-1 here. And what was a pretty interesting moment of, we saw DRX basically sandwiched over there at A long, but with patience on their side, they were able to kind of wait out the position and ultimately force their way up onto the site.
All right, I heard Stack saying something like, don't diss it or something like that, or maybe don't defuse, I want to defuse, something like that. I don't think he was even alive at the end though, so either way, of course he wouldn't be going for the defuse. Either way, the stop coming in from Ban, but he gets taken out in the middle of his smoke.
Kind of a funny exchange back there. Already T1 beginning to thin out in numbers here. Saya had that operator over to A, but wasn't able to find any targets. We've got a double setup on the lockdowns over here.
Yeah, but the Defenders one is going to be countered by that Hunter's Fury. And now the lockdown will finish up on the side of DRX. And off of that, Buzz has already pushed out way far. The post-plant position is, I mean, more than perfect. This is taking every advantage.
And look at the mini-map and watch how they're just combing through every angle, trying to see what they can find. They know Carpe's up here at the top.
Buzz he loves doing that, by the way. He loves baiting with the pistols. Oh my God. The Shadow Step's good. Mako, they pinch on the operator.
The fact that they got that operator, that's really huge. I mean, T1 tries to play a patient game because they're going to look for opportunities elsewhere. Let's not forget, Saya really gets no value with that operator in that game to begin with.
Yeah, nothing found. And just a quick hit onto the C site. Trade lockdown for lockdown. And you know, that Hunter's Fury being saved for the lockdown this time. DRX, the last one's laughing. I mean, of course, earlier on Ascent, we had praised Zeta sometimes just getting proactive and aggressive with the Hunter's Furies, but that man bought the Tactibear. It is on sale over at the merch shop.
It's over on our desk.
Yeah, we've got one on our desk. He's got one.
I'm the Taste-A-Bear, and you're the Will-A-Bear, and all three of us are over here casting this game.
Yeah, of course, if you're here today or tomorrow, you can buy that, but Mako with a quick little pick-off on Ban.
Yeah, I wasn't even quite ready for that to happen so fast. So things already beginning to look worse here. A pretty starved T1 here in round 7 already drops a player. And DRX can pretty much take their time. They're going to once again leave RB in the back to confirm the nobody's going to have the lurk on them. It is Saya way over here towards the exterior of the A entry.
Yeah, but Munchkin's trying to get a cheeky early kill. The drone's going to stop him from doing so. Drone gets taken out, but he is caught in that stun, and Buzz should find him right away. Target acquired.
Yeah, Munchkin having no clue where the jet was.
Oh no! Okay, that was almost a crazy mishap. That Team Flash
that was
forcing Zest to turn away.
Weird snafu they were in. Now hold on, Saya, blades drawn.
Spike planted.
This is possible.
It is, but look at Mako's position. I mean, Mako is creating all sorts of
Oh
curveballs
my
here.
God.
Yeah. You do not expect them to already be in B site as well, and that's a 6-1 lead. Suddenly, as close as things were in map 1 and 2, DRX trying to run away with it again. But we got to remember, Ascent, it started this way in the first half.
That's right. You know, whether it's an operator or the Blade Storm, Saya's not getting value.
That is true.
That's a very bad sign.
Yes.
Before this best of 5 started, we talked about the fact that Saya is kind of the one that's always able to pull the team forward. That's not to take away from Zeta, from Munchkin, from Ban, Carpe, any of them. They're all so good, but Saya really not achieving very much here in the first half is an alarming sign for T1.
You're absolutely right. I mean, you know, one of the reasons we praise him so much was because his first kill, first death ratios were out the window. I mean, he has just been out of this world. Sometimes hard carrying T1, even through their losses, he was the one topping the server. And now he's being shut down. DRX talked about it. They want to focus on him. But now T1, they send Saya on his own. He's cleared out C long. The positioning, I think, a lot better for T1. The information gathered simply from this push out indicates that there's a very strong likelihood that the main force is going towards A.
Creeping up into A, there's a double stack. Munchkin ready to receive. Are we going to have that flash come out, the blind come out?
The Rolling Thunder. And the way it's set up, Munchkin's not going to get hit by it. They're just going to push out as soon as they hear. Oh, they're just going to push out immediately no matter what. And all the counter utility being thrown by DRX, but it's not on the Hunter's Fury as well.
Beautifully done. They advance on the position, and DRX, expecting to swing around, can't find anything. Just RB left over, a 1 versus 3. The spike on the opposite side of the map. Even the turret getting their hits in.
Yeah, and as soon as he gets spotted, it should be both players peeking out. The Carpe just cleans it up. No crossfire necessary. And a great little setup from T1. But here's the thing, and I've often thought this in the past as well, and that's some of the best Haven we've seen internationally, is the defenders have to start to kind of pick and choose where you want to shift your weight. You're not going to be able to cover all 3 sites every round. You're just spread way too thin. What a shot, by the way, with that ult. But, you know, you push out with the op on one side, you say, okay, this side's clear, just focus on the other 2. You got to be able to clear a part of the map much quicker, or just ditch it, right? Get ready for the retake, maybe just leave some killjoy utility just to get information so you can get a quick rotated.
Okay, we've got Omen over here.
What?
What?
He second guesses himself and still gets the kill, and then Zeta can swing out for more. This is Saya. Oh
well,
my
there you go.
God.
All right, Saya, I'm sorry I doubted you, man. I wasn't wrong. The blade storms weren't working, the operator shots weren't happening. You've caught up already.
Well, right back in the game, right? 3-6, they're trying to catch up. But again, look at this route. 4-person stack around B site. You know, with some behind the walls to support with utility, but it is meant to just push out. They also, I think, recognize that DRX has been really focusing on A lobby control no matter whether they rotate or not. They're trying to get the initial duel, you know, against either Saya's operator or Zeta with that Sova and shut that crucial part of the composition down before they choose where to execute. And so T1 says, all right, if it's a fight they want, let's give them a full-blown, absolute, you know, battle here in A lobby. And they're able to shut down that attack.
This has been such a great series so far. We may be just about only halfway through, by the way.
This is possible, yes.
This is very possible. Now, you know, the first halves with both of these teams, every map, it's so misleading. Whoever has the lead, it seems to be clearly a moot point later on.
Oh, and there we go. Just sorry to cut you off, but that is Mako's mother just saying, oh, mother loves you, Mako. Let's get that win. You love to see it.
Mako's mom, or as I call her, Momko.
Momko. We got to give her that nickname.
That's Momko. That's Momko up there with the sign.
You know what's really funny in Korean? You can actually just link their names together because mom is Umma, so you can say Ummako. Mm-hmm. That's her name.
It works in any language. Well, at least 2, but you know. I'll say it. Moving on to the cast.
All right. Oh, Odin in the hands of Zeta as well. He's trying to just shut down sewers with that Odin. He's just spraying it down. This allows Munchkin to be planted deep. They expected this Rolling Thunder. Look, the site's empty. Munchkin tagged, but if he can hold on to sewers, the retake in a decent spot for T1.
Oh, we've got Munchkin here, but Zest with the swing around gets that kill.
Oh, and a fast retake, but the Nanoswarm is going to hold him off just for now. Saya player, another Nanoswarm as well. T1 just cannot get into the site.
Yeah, they've been sandbagged pretty successfully.
Saya
does dash in.
With the op, he's going to get shut down immediately. And Ban gets taken out, and the drop from Zeta to try to support, not going to be good enough.
A nasty win there for DRX. A lot of that with that Killjoy utility. It just wasn't enough room, wasn't enough air, enough oxygen there for T1 to really make anything happen, especially with Stacks with the shutdown there on the Jet dashing in.
Yeah, and a lot of this, the Owl Drone barely spots Munchkin right at the end. And the paranoia keeps Munchkin kind of confused so that Zest has time to wrap around and clear out sewers, right? The crossfire now gone for T1. And they had a cheeky idea with the Odin, but it doesn't work out. The operator continuing to be bought once again for Saya player. Can they make it a 5-7-1/2? Honestly, it's Haven. 5-7-1/2 wouldn't be so bad for T1 as they switch sides.
Saya with the peak here into B. You know, B has really been a site that has gotten no attention here from DRX, by the way.
I don't think they've walked through it once. RB walked through it on the flank once in the first half so far.
As far as they're concerned on this map, B is not in the alphabet. So we got to see if Saya can get a pick here. This is the first time they've stacked heavy in mid.
Yeah,
DRX
that drop was heard, by the way. The ping comes out from the attackers. Saya just stays calm. He knows he has tailwind. He wants to go for another pick, but he's just going to find the turret. That's it. Okay, and then the Omen ultimate used by Ban just to check if anyone snuck into A main, A long. No one quite there. All right, Ban is kind of left on an island. He already has a smoke out, though, and the Paranoia. He's just trying to buy time, but he's spotted by Buzz, and the site broken open by DRX.
Yeah, DRX looking to get this 8th win here.
Left.
I mean, this is just brutal. Munchkin is possibly going to have an engage here with Mako. I mean, he's pushing right up here, maybe hungry for an exit frag. No, he rotates around over towards attacker spawn. But he's not done moving in the general direction.
I gotta imagine he does have to go for the save here, though, right? I mean, you're starved for credits, and if this goes 8-3, the next round is last round. You gotta scrape together whatever you can. Ban only has 50 credits. Even that half armor not gonna do too much good. And DRX at the same time says, you know what? That's fine. We don't want to greed for this. I mean, I think there is a world where Zest greeds for this because he's 1 point away. So whether he gets the kill or not, he gets his Hunter's Fury, and that's fine. DRX playing this in a very calculated manner. Oh, well except for RB.
Yeah, Munchkin actually starting to thin those numbers out. This is going to be the last round in the first half. T1 calls for that timeout. They need to figure out how to get this to 4 and stop DRX from getting 9. Now, I'm going to say this in this timeout. Obviously, it's going to be fun to see what strategies used, but the first half seems to have no bearing on what's going to happen in the second half with these two teams.
No,
okay?
not at all. I mean, they have been fighting back tooth and nail in the second half on both sides, so curious to see. I also am very interested in this timeout from T1. I mean, this timeout tells me that they think if they can just get the 4-8 scoreline, that whatever they have prepared on attack will carry them to victory, right? Because why bother using it when there's only 1 round left if you think it's not going to be too big of a difference between a 3-9 and a 4-8? So curious to see I'm actually more curious now about the attacking side from T1, more so than this last round in the half.
That's a good point.
We'll have to wait and see, though. Of course, Hunter's Fury was completed by Zest on the side of DRX. Got to double check what the ult scenario is here for T1. But man, I would like to see T1 once again just kind of stack on one side or the other. Everyone, if you're watching from home, do your stretches like that man in the background. Make sure your shoulders don't get all bunched up watching from home.
You don't want to have shoulder ears while you're watching, or playing for that matter.
No.
Now, we're going to go into this 12th round here. What exactly is going to be the setup here?
So T1 focusing on just a potential push out of B. Now lockdowns on both sides, so DRX most likely, they're going to run in and plant that lockdown right away. Zest was the operator as well. By the way, Zest is one of the best operator players on DRX. He just doesn't play the jet. Dashes in.
All right, Ban is going to be lurking right up in the front, but he's already taken out by Buzz.
Oh, the tags are so good from the Sova. Allows Buzz to just get free kills left and right. They don't even need the lockdown. They don't need anything, just their bread and butter set plays.
Yeah, so far so good. T1, can they swing out? Can they get these picks? They need to.
They'll do whatever they can, but this is not looking good. Buzz good
Buzz.
for 4. He's
trying to get the ace.
Can he get it? The ace!
That's how you end a half. DRX up 9-3. Closing it out with style.
Buzz getting that redemption. You know, had a couple shaky moments on map 1, but he's right back in it. And again, look at what just good supporting can do for your entry. I mean, he doesn't have to worry about the other angles, right? Everyone's watching his back. And the initial pain comes in. He wants the crowd to get hyped up. I mean, that's the experience coming from being at so many lands, right? He knows how to really work the crowd here, and it is a home crowd.
Man, that was a hell of an ending to that. The DRX. I know it's getting cliche at this point, but I'm like, I don't know what this means, 9-3. Not even trying to meme with you kids in the chat. Have you seen the last 2 games?
Yeah.
It was like whoever's ahead, it's like, well, what would be the most ideal story that could come out of this for the fans?
Well, here's the thing, T1, they've won 4 out of the 5 pistol rounds so far. If they can win another one, then again, the 9-3 scoreline doesn't quite matter as much.
That's true. That's very, very true. Yeah, it's interesting to see that T1 is so much stronger on pistol rounds.
Yeah, I mean, back when they played during the round robin, they didn't win a single one out of the 4. And now they're just coming in and saying, well, that was the problem with the maps we played. We're playing on different maps now. We're going to continue winning all of our pistols, see if they can do that on the defense. Now, my big question is, DRX, have they figured out a way to, again, just kind of work the map as a two-site map in the first part of each round on defense, right? Just leave the other one of the sites up for a retake, up for just some intel. See what you can do. Oh, repping the EU fans.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you
love
want
for stacks.
Oh, DRX versus PRX.
Side.
Okay, yeah, that's just cheering for DRX from Europe, but okay, you want DRX versus PaperX in the grand finals again, see if it'll happen. Meanwhile, there's a fan in the back that wants to clip it. Unfortunately, you can't do that in Korea, but all you fans watching
Somebody
our stream,
somebody overseas clip it.
Yeah, you can clip it for us.
We can't make clips in Korea right now.
All right. 9-3, the weight being shifted towards the A side from T1 and DRX. It doesn't look like they want to push out of B, but they are. Oh my gosh, the DRX cheers are getting louder and louder.
Yeah.
It's got to be a drum, by the way.
It's definitely a drum.
Yeah, we've been wondering about this the entire night, and it's got to be a drum. All right, the round's kicking off. It's just going to be a quick hit onto A. T1, have they learned from Team Secret? Is the answer to just pile onto A side every time?
Yeah. Is that the play? DRX is going to give it to him, but there's going to be a pretty quick pinch coming here.
Here's the thing, as soon as that alarm bot trips, T1, do you turn around to fight, or do you just send Saya in to push out of link? The spike is planted for main, right? So ideally you don't lose that info. T1, okay, they're just going to try to fight back in sewers.
All right, they're going to come up now. And it's just going to be Zest staying up here.
Yeah, only Ban was hit by that stun. He is in a bit of trouble, but Carpe trying to provide support. He gets one, and he stunned up the other members.
Oh, Zeta's starting to make it happen. Hold up, 2 versus 2 now.
The frenzy good. They find info, and Saya will be able to clean it up. Another pistol win for T1.
T1 is doing so much in these pistol rounds, and by the way, we talked about this, is a site that Achilles heel.
You know what's crazy to me is that one of the reasons DRX's Haven was so praised in the past, right? That so many teams studied it to improve their own Haven was because of their A site executes and retakes, right? They were one of the teams that said, okay, we can let them have A site because we have so many different retakes planned out. We know exactly how to break open that site once again from the defender's side. That started to fall more and more apart as teams have gotten used to that style. Other teams have picked up on it. Oh no, Mako tagged.
Yeah, he wings him. Mako got to pull back a little bit further.
The other interesting thing to me from T1 is that they spot Mako and they say, let's push in.
Yeah.
Normally for other teams, you would be like, maybe they stashed C-site. But just reading through DRX.
All right, Saya here with the flanks. No scope in 2.
Oh my God, it's beginning. Mako's good for 1, but Saya just gets it right to the foot.
Through the foot, yeah. Barbie left.
He actually gets a kill with the jump shorty. That's insane.
So funny. I was about to joke about there's nobody there, and then I look on the kill feed, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, he just gets a long-range shot.
Yeah. Well, that's the funny thing about the shorty is, like, you're going to do damage if you click on him, even if they're kind of far away, right? If somebody's low on HP, you can kind of finish him off there.
You hear T1, they got the shorties. Carpe was so far as well. He's like trying to just plant the spike. Well, all right, T1, comeback begins once again. And rifle spot up.
Is this strange pattern going to continue on as we go through game 3, where the winning team, eventually gets overcome here in that second half?
Yeah, well, I mean, T1, they're saying, all right, Team Secret, they were onto something. We get A main for free once again. See if we can break open the site. Even Sewer's taken. Paranoia pushes him out. Buzz is kind of stuck on an island on top of these boxes, but he shuts down Saya player.
DRX right now just cleaning house. Zayden Munchkin left over, and now there's just one.
I mean, on T1 side, oh no, the reload. He cannot finish the man behind the boxes, and that allows T1 to get into the site.
This is unreal. No. It's just RB left over. Munchkin so low.
Spike planted.
Oh my God, the reload. Out of bullets, he cannot finish the spam onto Munchkin, and that creates that one opening where Zeta can peek out and just shut down the site.
And A site used again and again here.
I mean, the crazy part is the initial defense was good.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. They got the kills. And then it was just like T1 wilt their way through it.
There's something on this site for DRX, man. They gotta leave it, man. They gotta get out of there. Oh no! I mean, what a haunting round for DRX, where they probably thought, all right, shutdown successful. We got this in the bag. And T1 just this time, enemies are on an eco, so they don't want to get too crazy. But I love this, right? Because the smokes from both sides are so common nowadays here in A lobby, they just plant Saya in. That way they know DRX cannot take over lobby and allows T1 to actually go back to A site much quicker than you normally would be allowed to do. Oftentimes, if defenders put up that aggressive smoke, you kind of just have to wait, use so much utility, clear out lobby, clear behind the box, clear out the cubby, and then barely get into A main. T1 says, nope, we already have our jet planted in there.
So A, it's going to be the same story. I mean, DRX gives him A.
Saya does miss that draft 2 times in a row.
Yeah, something's going on there. They're also very aware that Zess is probably up here in heaven. So some shots are fired into there. We don't have this spike planted, by the way.
Yeah, just trying to draw out all the utility, right? They're trying to make sure that DRX doesn't have... Yeah, they're trying to bait in the early retake, and it's successful. However, the stun's good, and Carpe taken down. Buzz still alive, picks up a Vandal.
Buzz still on the move here. Mako gets 1 and 2. It's just Munchkin left.
But it is a 1v2. Mako only a stinger. Buzz low on health. Perfect crossfire set up.
One enemy.
Oh no! But the stinger at close range reigns supreme!
My God! What a round!
Wow, I mean, it's just the back and forth. T1, they wanted to bait out this retake. They wanted to bait it out with the fake plant. And DRX says, bait it out all you want, we're still gonna catch you. I mean, the paranoia and the stun in a perfect crisscross leaves Carpe just completely unable to fight. Buzz gets right behind him. And then an amazing updraft right click allows him to pick up a Vandal as well.
Saya here with the operator.
Oh, same with Buzz, though.
We might end up with that duel.
Right,
so it's going to be a bit of a peek into garage here. Munchkin gets to confirm that there is someone lurking inside.
So unable to clear the enemy's killjoy utility with that nano swarm. We've seen that become more and more common. Munchkin's trying to figure out, do I spend more here just to... Okay, so that way he can confirm at least clearing out the turret. But it does come at the cost of both nano swarms, and he still cannot gain control of garage quite just yet. The only thing that does is, you know, kind of forces DRX to have someone watching garage instead of relying on the turret.
Right here.
So they're not going to fire that shot over onto the Aldrone. A is not where they want to be anymore. C instead is where they're going to need to come up. They smoke it out. Killjoy utility is triggered.
Oh, but with this timing, Munchkin actually goes into garage. This is just to allow Munchkin to get in there, and the Hunter's Fury is trying to clear the site, but Mako takes it down, Munchkin, and that ruins the entry from T1.
Mako with a triple right now, and a humiliated T1 having to back up. We've still got the operator down here, but Zeta Carpe are so low. If Zeta could even just get a pick, that would be nice. Let's not forget, Buzz is ready over here on the A side. This is going to have to be a save round, which means DRX is going to go up to 11 points here on map number 3.
A good hold from DRX, being very well aware. First of all, they were ready to really shift their focus on to C right from the get-go because of Buzz's positioning. However, on top of that, aware of the fact that if they're making this much noise and they haven't come in through our nano swarms, what else could they have prepared? Probably a pinch from garage. RB had to leave it to help cover the site. So Mako watches for the entry in from Munchkin. And that's just perfect timing for Mako, hiding away in the corner here.
And by the way, Mako, if he wasn't getting the shots that he's getting, this would be an extremely different map.
Oh, yes. Yes, absolutely. I agree. And then even in that replay we saw, he gets the first 2 kills and then he shifts a couple steps to the left to prepare for anyone trying to just swing out, you know, and get that pick on him, and that throws Ban off as well. A great hold by Mako and DRX. Now, 1 point away from match point. We've seen this before, Tasteless.
Yeah. We know what this means. It's going to be 13-11, but which side will it be?
I I mean, normally we'd be like, all right, well, you know, DRC just need one more to get match point, and we'd call it a day, but not today.
Yeah, and if you're wondering what we're talking about, then you must have missed the first two maps where it was like any team that's down is going to be the one to come back. I hope this timeout serves T1 well. Otherwise, this might be our first kind of one-sided map we've had so far.
Yeah, I mean, both the other ones, obviously, especially with comeback wins on both sides, have been very close, very much a tug-of-war. But right now, it definitely feels like a map where T1 is fighting an uphill battle against DRX. Now, tons of pings coming out on C side from T1. Looks like maybe they're suspecting the operator to be there. Operator has been given over to Munchkin, so Blade Storm entry in the works for Saya player.
And they may be going for info right now. Saya probably going to hop up, doesn't see anybody, waiting down an A. That may make them suspect that the operator has been rotated around, but you never know with mind games like this.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea, right? Just check that, okay, with this aggressive smoke, does that mean someone's coming forward? Is it a fake for the operator on A long? They realize the operator isn't there, so they're going to start creeping forward. But you got to imagine that a lot of this is just being used to see if there's a reaction from DRX, and they get one finally. The owl drone being drawn out. Two members purposely showing themselves on this drone. They could have hidden, but they choose not to.
All right, Zeta going to creep up into B.
Oh, DRX knows this is coming, though.
Yep, this is a site that has not gotten much attention in this first map. They smoke it out. Saya's going to dash through onto the side, and they lose track of Saya.
Oh, and they even checked the corner for Mako as well. Saya drew out so much attention.
Spike planted now. DRX in a very difficult retake here. Buzz going to have to try to come over here from the C side.
Oh, and they're gonna empty the site. They have an operator in Munchkin's hands to watch the spike.
Here.
And they have Zeta ready to go for the flank at any moment's notice through Garage. This is all just gonna be one-by-one peaks from T1 to draw out time.
All right, they get it to, no, they don't even get it to half, that's it. 7-11.
A flawless.
Yeah, a perfect round, and man, we talked earlier about how that timeout, you know, we hope it serves T1 well. Well, that literally could not have been better.
No, I mean, there's no better way to do it. And what an entry by Saya.
Yeah, here we go. Just dash through, kill, and then dash forward, which really makes that it's such an inconvenient spot to try to control with the operator on C. You can't quickly come back and try to get that retake, and they were utterly shut down from there on out.
And this is just the level required, right? We thought DRX was having the read, but T1 says, we know you're going to be prepared here on the site. Saya just walking around his teammates' fault line to try to get a different angle here towards mid. I mean, again, they're focusing on B right now that it's full buy rounds, assuming that this is going to be the weaker site. And if it isn't, they can easily rotate out. They're not going to hard commit just yet, but no movement. Drone being heard on A short.
Okay, once again, into B. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Saya perched up on top.
They're trying to draw out whatever utility from the opponents, but they will be able to draw out the aftershock. Now the plant should be safe. No ultimates available on the side of DRX that can stop this one.
Van lurking in the back. Oh.
But yeah, DRX tries to kind of sneak in.
Yeah.
Saya, the drop. Not quite aware on the side of Zest.
Munchkin's ready. And takes Mako out. Oh my God. Okay.
It's happening.
It's happening. We told you. We told you guys.
We told you.
If it gets one-sided, it has to mean 13-11. It can only be one thing.
Yeah, well, the operator going to be saved by Buzz. Well, I mean, that's the best you can do. Meanwhile, I mean, T1, you know, they're just going to say, you know what, you can save that. We're not going to greed for that. I mean, I think there is a world where maybe they could have. It wouldn't have been the end of the world, but perhaps they're realizing, you know, let him keep the operator. As long as we can find the location of that, that's one person just planted down, right? We just don't have to fight against it.
All right, round 20. That operator needs to do something to carry that. By the way, B site, they're just not able to control it. I don't know if we're going to have more action on B or not, but it does seem like if they know an operator's at play, B becomes a lot more tempting.
Yeah, well, I got to imagine, I was going to say T1, they probably assume enough damage done onto B. Now, as long as the operator isn't quite there, or even if it is, maybe we go for a fast hit. They've got Rolling Thunder and Lockdown ready to go. So does DRX, but if they can just get in quick and early into the round, they might be able to find some success. Now, of course, the operator was initially starting on B site to prevent any sort of early push. Saya's crept all the way in. Buzz does suspect it, though. They're well aware that they did not cover this angle.
Okay, Saya's waiting patiently. Oh my God, they both miss.
Oh my gosh. Well, that was like a scene from a horror movie. But however, okay, if the drone was used on A long, and you just saw the operator peek out from back site, okay, that's 2 members on A. That means B site may be a bit lighter once again.
Okay, here we go. Hunter's Fury gonna hiccup that spike plant.
Oh, but that means lockdown available for Munchkin. It cannot be destroyed. They're now going to go through Garage.
Found them.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, Rolling Thunder comes through here. Is Mako going to be able to hold this?
Well, this is up to RB, but he's been paranoid. He cannot cover for his teammates. RB gets 1, he gets 2, and he shuts down the plant. Cannot be finished just yet.
Ban still fights back, and Seda does as well.
1 enemy remaining.
Just Ban left over. Not impossible.
Not impossible at all. He's got the ult as well. He just wants to bail out of here. Now it is a 1v2. I like the plant location. Not going to get hit by any sort of easy utility. Almost actually.
He had the, he had the sense of that that's where it might be.
Now, Ban, the thing is the spike plant location keeps it ambiguous, but he has so many places to check. He needs to, he's just going to pick the 50-50 and say they're both coming from defender spawn. Thankfully for him, he would be correct.
All right, he knows at least Silva's up there.
Oh no, the recon bolt though.
Okay, and he sees the operator shot.
And he was tagged.
1 enemy remaining.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh no! My god!
Buzz was just trying to check the close angle and try to create space by jumping in, but Ban does not get shaken.
I can't believe it.
What?
I can't believe that's how it ended. With just 2 shorty shots on top of box.
Watch. It initially works. Ban,
uh-oh. Boop, boop.
It initially works. Ban thinks about trying to track Buzz, and he instantly decides that's a shorty, ignore it, get Zest. Because here's the thing. The other thing Ban probably in the back of his mind remembers is, well, if he swaps out of the shorty, it's still an op. It's going to take a while to fire by scoping in. You can't no-scope at that distance that easily.
Yeah. Well, also, he knows he probably tagged him already.
Well, yeah.
You just need the extra damage.
And then he switches out to the shorty himself. Okay, any concern for Ban getting used to the stage of the pressure? Again, greatly exaggerated. This guy has been locked in to T1, and T1's trying to crawl back into this map.
Man, what a best of 5 this has been. 11-9 for now.
For now.
Every map we have where one team starts to win, the other starts to pull back, and it's staying true so far. All DRX needed was to close out that 2 versus 1 to get to that so important number 12.
Yeah.
I mean, from there, it's, them trying to fight for overtime, but right now, this victory is still in peril.
And here's the thing, is that as funny as it looked, I don't think you can blame Buzz and Zest for the play they tried. I mean, he had an op in his hand. What else was he going to do? Yeah, he could have gone for an Eagle Peak himself, but I mean, Ban, just hearts of steel right there. Bringing the round back for T1. Saya with his own operator, this time no operator on the side of DRX.
Very, very slow start here. T1 really trying to take their time. Is anybody going to try to peek out, overextend, give them even the slightest bit of information? DRX also showing a lot of patience. T1, they may very well just collect up over here at A. Note, characteristically of DRX, they do seem to leave A wide open sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's those retakes that they've suffered from.
Yeah, well, I mean, this time they have Rolling Thunder and Lockdown. So in a theoretical world, where everything goes as planned for both teams, DRX should have the upper hand, right? I mean, they've had so many times, so many reps in to practice retakes like these where it's the most ideal scenario. Zest's going to just try to do some damage. But Saya's ready for this. He's trying to get a potential spam if he sees anything come out. We hear that gunshot.
Spike planted.
All right, retake being prepared from heaven.
Yep, they're just all going to come down at once. Attacker Killjoy's ready.
I love this lockdown timing. He puts it down before the opponents just to be able to buy time so that they can't just rush right in.
and they're going to pull back. At least some of them are.
Okay, Defender's Killjoy lockdown also destroyed.
All right, Buzz finds one. Stacks finds another, but it's a trade out here, and then there are none. DRX is going to get this diffused down. It's going to be 9-12. T1 needs to win 3 more to go to overtime and match DRX. Otherwise, DRX is going to walk out of this next map up 2-1.
Yeah, and very calm and collected play here from DRX, right? Not trying to rush it as soon as the Allo drone gets the spot, but they just calmly wait for both lockdowns to work out. And in fact, drawing out so much of the opponent's kind of attacker utility, right, with their own lockdown. Sure, T1 was able to destroy the defender's lockdown just to be able to stay in the site, but, you know, that allows DRX to get in undeterred. They were also able to save their Rolling Thunder, so another chance to leave a site open.
All right, a push in over here. How prepared is Zest? And by the way, DRX not budging just yet. They're not sure if there's just a push they're trying to sell or one they're actually going to commit to. But we do see Zest tiptoeing back out, so they're going to at least leave the opportunity for a retake. Not dropping numbers, not being picked off one by one.
Now T1 has to make a decision before they go for the plant. Do you push out to counter this Rolling Thunder? That's the big question, because you got to know that it's coming in. You got to know that it was intentionally saved. Okay, Saya player just trying to do some damage up into heaven. Not going to find a target here. The Rolling Thunder is ready here. Operator given over to Stacks so that they can jump in for the retake. Saya's positioned for it. He is outside of range on the Rolling Thunder, and he is shutting down the retake on his own.
Huge moment there. Just Zest and Mako left over. And I mean, I think they're just going to have to give this one to T1. Yeah. This should go up to 10-12. William.
It's
Why are they so close every time?
I mean, what a match. What a match between these two teams. And we're still guaranteed one more map no matter what in this best of 5. We're going to get to see Bind, but yeah, just a save coming out from DRX. I mean, you made match point, no reason to throw away any sort of things that you can carry over that operator. Oh, so important here for the defenders.
So DRX has 2 opportunities in the next possible 2 rounds to get that to 13. So they got to figure out really how do they do this. And this was really the setup here, since Saya was sort of out in the open where they really thought they were going to be able to set up over here through the hall to try to push it. They just got that preempted. Saya willing to sacrifice himself for the greater cause of that round. Saya's got a Blade Storm. Hunter's Fury, I mean, it could be available in this round. Buzz's Blade Storm could be available in this round.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to try to get the Hunter's Fury online with the spike plant, and they're just clearing for Nanoswarms. This is meant to be a fast hit onto C site. No operator here to be found. Now, Saya, is he aware that Mako's right below him? Mako's just trying to hide in the Cloudburst, but Mako actually gets the kill back.
Shroud step up on top.
Well, both his Shadow and his former self were shot down in that one.
Somehow 2 Makos died there. And that leaves us with just 3 DRX players left in a nightmarish retake, if they even opt to do so here versus T1.
Yeah, T1 does feel a bit trapped, and that's a collapse! Oh, Buzz, he tries to go in with the Blaze Storm to open things up, but Zeta...
Oh God, the back and forth is insane. The opportunity created and then lost just in a matter of seconds.
Van's just trying to pretend he's not there. I mean, I think he was spotted one way or the other. Zest trying to create whatever opportunities he can.
Zest here in place of Foxy 9, opts to back out.
Just gonna save that one rifle.
Yeah. Okay, there was a lot that happened in the last, 40 seconds there. We saw, looked like an obvious T1 win into a collat. 2 kills, 1 operator into, I believe it was Zeta, then getting 2 of his own kills.
Yeah, and that was gonna be my one concern was, well, T1's a bit trapped in the site, right? You have the numbers advantage, but you're trapped, so you got to push out from one way or the other. And Buzz says, no, you guys stay right here near, fish in a barrel. He's going to get a quick little collect. Oh, right through
through the wrist.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 through the wrist of the Killjoy.
But Zeta
hold his wrist like, oh, my wrist was shot.
Yeah, Carvy's like, I felt that
painful.
one.
If you get shot in the wrist, you can't play Valorant.
Well, all right. Operator continues it for Saya now, as they pick that one up.
All right, a peek out here. Both operators peering down into A. tag one, but I don't know if he's going to go for the peak.
Get out of my
Oh!
And then Zest with a nice trade peek out as well. Allows for 2 kills, and T1 says, well, we just got to rush in. We got to try to catch them before they're unawares. Saya he cannot get the next one. Zest stays alive.
It's just Munchkin left over in a 1 versus 4. This is probably over. This is probably going to go to a 13-11 here with a DRX win. But let's see what Munchkin's got to offer.
Are we just destined to have 13-11s all night today?
Yes.
I mean, we are.
Yes.
This is crazy. This is insane. All right, I mean, can he even get the plan? RB's already here. There's so much he needs to check for.
Recalling my bot. Alarm bot
And Munchkin, he's done some crazy things. He's made some crazy carries happen in his career here in Valorant. And he's stunned
Hunter's
out.
Fury comes out.
Okay, he draws out the Sova ultimate. Just waiting for that
30
third
seconds
shot.
left.
Not gonna happen.
Placing swarm grenade.
Push coming from Garage. He's trying to get ready here for Mako.
Turrets destroyed. Alarm bot down.
Oh, he just wants to dwindle the numbers just a bit, but they're already on site. There's too many, and he's might, but Munchkin, he's good for 1, and he almost gets it.
Oh my God!
But RB.
Oh my God! It almost actually happened.
Oh my God.